getting it wrong when you're hiring can be very detrimental to your business success. And that's why today we're going to be looking at the steps to avoid hiring the wrong employee. And I'm joined by Paminas, who is our lead recruiter here at Corporate Staffing, to explain to us how we can avoid these mistakes. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Cynthia.
So what are the effects of getting it wrong when you are hiring an employee for your organization?
So I'm sure anyone who's in management, supervisor, you've encountered this. You met someone during an interview, they promised heaven, but only for you to realize within a very short time that indeed you've got the wrong person.
Yeah.
And so there are various things that come with that. So look at the time wastage. So sometimes you may not really know whether you have the right person on board. You might give them chances. So you'd imagine you have this person for 3 months, 4 months, or the maximum that's allowed for probation, which is 6 months. So there's time wastage. There's also the cost, because either you could have used a consultant such as ourselves, you could have advertised on job boards. I mean, all those come at a cost.
Yeah.
And depending on the type of employee, it could also have affected the team. So let's say you've hired a toxic person who's come and they disrupted the work culture, and people are not seeing eye to eye, and it becomes a very toxic work environment.
Yes.
So there are direct costs associated with hiring the wrong person, and there are other indirect costs. So it's very important for us as business leaders to be able to get it right the first time.
Yeah.
There are no guarantees, obvious, but there are a few things you can do to make sure that, at least on your part, you've done all you could to ensure that you have the right person on board.
Yeah. So the things you're talking about, let's look at them as our title suggested, steps to avoid hiring the wrong person.
Yeah. So the steps, it's the starting point is to ensure that your house is in order.
Yeah.
So there are mistakes that the employees make, and there are mistakes that companies make that contribute to hiring the wrong person. So if I can focus on the company, so if you're looking to hire and you don't have a job description, so how will you be able to identify the right person for the role? So we start, do you have the job description? Do you have key performance indicators, in the sense that this is what I expect this person to do, that's the job description, and this is how I'll know when they've achieved whatever I want them to do. So that's at a bare minimum. And a lot of us, unfortunately, especially the SMEs, we ignore that, or we just say, oh, I need an accountant. So you assume you know what you require of an accountant, and also the accountant assumes that whatever they know is what you require. So you can see how messy it can be from the start. So if you have a job description, you can say, okay, I as Cynthia or I as corporate staffing, this is what we require of an accountant. A, B, C, D. And based on that, these are the qualifications. And when they join, I'll be able to measure their performance this way. So you see there's clarity from the word go. And that is how now, when you interview in this accountant, you can be able to ask them, okay, as we use QuickBooks as an ERP, do you have experience with QuickBooks? No. So no matter how good they are in accounting, if they don't have experience in QuickBooks, then that's not an ideal employee for you. So that's number one. So make sure your house is in order, job description and KPIs. The other bit I would advise is the way you source matters. Professionalize the recruitment exercise. What do I mean? You can outsource. So the third parties, corporate staffing will come and we handle the recruitment bit for you. So we do the advertising, the shortlisting, the initial interview, and we'll share with you, Cynthia, the 5 best candidates, based on the requirements that we had discussed. So even if so that one option, come and use professionals like us. So even if you don't use us, don't go asking for friends to give you CVs, or just, whatever first CV you get, you hire this person. No. So what I've come to learn with recruitment, it's actually a process. And sometimes some of the things you could be doing, they look like you're wasting time. However, that shouldn't be the case. Because the outcome then will be better as opposed to you hiring the process. So I wouldn't recommend you to hire friends and relatives, no matter how qualified they are, because it also doesn't work. The other bit is also now, when it comes to interviews, sometimes us as business owners, especially SMEs, again, you may be the way we interview, you can lose out on very good candidates.
Yeah.
And always remember, the person you're interviewing, they're selling themselves at that moment. So they're showing you their best, their best behavior. They'll talk about, they'll give you all the big promises. And that's allowed because they want to make the best impression.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with that. But then again, have you structured your interview such that you know what to focus on? Yeah. And I always advise anyone hiring, focus on competencies first. Yeah. 80% of the discussion should be, okay, tell me what you've done in accounts. What reports have you done? What statutory do you do? How do you do your bank reconciliation? You know, such kind of things. Yeah. So that way you not fall for a sweet talker. Yeah. Yeah, someone who will come, they are charming and, you know, they win you over. There's the opposite for employers, where now you as an employer, you want to intimidate this candidate. You want to show them the boss. I mean, we know you are the boss. That's why you advertise for the position. That's why you are interviewing them. Yeah. But it doesn't have to be that way. So the more you make this candidate feel comfortable, the more they'll open up and you really be able to, you know, see whether they have value and whether they are a good fit for you. Yeah. So to summarize, I would say, make sure your housing is in order. Yeah. Then second, look at the recruitment process. Take time. There's no rush. Yeah. You don't want to do this recruitment for 2 days, get someone, only to be stuck with this person for 6 months. And terminating an employee it's not a joke nowadays. Yeah. Yeah. So make sure you get it right at the recruitment stage. And that's where we come in. We can be able to help you, even be able to craft the job description, the KPIs. And lastly, when you're interviewing, there are a few things to focus on. Yeah.
All right. So having said that, Paminas, how can we help employers get it right?
Over the 13-year period that we've been in existence, we've helped many employers, both SMEs and the medium-sized firms, get it right when it comes to hiring of staff. Yeah. And regardless of your business idea, regardless of the processes you have, regardless of the product or service you're offering, I mean, the biggest differentiator is the kind of employee you have, the kind of talent you have. So how we work with employers is that if you have a need, we come, we have a discussion, get to understand where you're coming from, what kind of an employee are you looking for, you know, what are the must-have. And then also we discuss things like what is the organizational culture, what do you expect these employees to deliver. And then from there we go to the market, we source the best for you. Yeah. So we do all the operational work, the back office work, and we present you with the 5 best candidates, especially if it's entry level, 5. If it's managers, we just do 3. And then you come and do the interview. So we support you from beginning to the end. And the meeting is free because we want to get a better understanding of who you are. And we do have so many success stories, and I would recommend someone to visit our website for more details on how we can be able to partner and ensure that we are getting for them the right employee. Yeah.
And you forgot to say the guarantee.
Oh yes, we also give you a guarantee such that if this person leaves during the probation period, we don't ask you questions, we just go back to the market and we get a replacement. And I'm very happy to say this doesn't happen every day. I mean, replacement, we also, even as we don't want to keep on repeating, so we also make sure we get it right the first time. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. And thank you for watching. You've heard it from Paminas. If you'd like more information on how we can help you hire the right employee for your organization and for the role, we have left a link below in the description box with more information about our recruitment process. Thank you and see you next time.